There I am. Hi everybody, it's Big Ed Mustafa. Welcome to Adventures After Dark. I am on Big Ed Mustafa, my namesake character. I am on Crick Hollow tonight, and I am in the Great River region. So I think I was just having a conversation with Winmar of Stand Guard. Ooh, Hobnanigans. Thank you, Mrs. Mustafa.
What the heck is Hobnanigans?
Hobnanigans is Zinger's favorite thing to do in all of Middle-earth.
That sounds weird and creepy.
It's like field hockey, but you hit chickens. I don't know, I have never actually played Hobnanigans. Not in 11 years of gameplay. John DeGard already checking in tonight. Hi, John. How are you? Looking for flowers, spent arrows, and spears. Ooh, and an orc to murder. Hi, Mr. Orc. How's your mother? Hammer down. Assault. What tales of corporate dissatisfaction do you have for us this evening? That's a good question. I do have a story. It involves a corporation, but it did not end badly. So I suppose we can warm up with that, and then everybody else who wanders in will be like, wow, what the heck's Ed talking about? What did I miss? Okay, so I did a PC build for a buddy of mine last night. I'd been ordering in the parts, and everything showed up except the monitor. So I sat down and I built a new PC. This guy's got an old Gateway piece of crap. He's had me work on it like 2 or 3 times, and every time I'm like, you need a new computer. And so finally, the last thing I did for him on it was replace his hard drive. Technically, he replaced the hard drive and then didn't know how to copy his operating system and files over from drive to drive. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. Let me take it. I can get it fixed up for you. So I get him all set up, and he takes it home. And I'm like, you need a new computer. And then I get a text message from him a few days later. And he's like, wow, this thing really takes a long time to update. And I'm like, yeah, Dennis, that's why I keep telling you you need a new computer. So he finally broke down. He's like, all right, well, build me a new computer. So I'm putting the thing together, and everything goes together just swimmingly well. DIY PC case and gigabyte motherboard, B350 micro ATX board, 16 gigs of Team Group DDR4 3000 memory. What else did I put in that thing? Oh, the processor's a Ryzen 5 2400G, one of the APUs with the Vega 11 graphics on die. Terrific processor, by the way. 4 cores, 8 threads, very fast, 3.6 gigahertz on all cores, 3.9 turbo, and just runs like a champ. Cooler that comes with it keeps it nice and chill and very quiet. Terabyte hard drive, 128 gig SSD, and just because Dennis is an old guy, I put in a DVD burner because I know when he goes to try to install software, if there's not a CD drive, he'll just freak out and be like, you forgot my CD drive. Trying to explain to him that, you know, cars don't come with cassette players and PCs don't come with CD drives. He won't get that. So I get everything put in. Oh, nice EVGA power supply, 450 watt bronze, 80 plus, the one that you see on sale occasionally. And get everything together, and I forgot to order an extra SATA cable because there's 3 drives and the motherboard only comes with 2. But I had extra SATA cables laying around. And I go to plug everything in, and I just can't quite make the reach with the SATA power connector from the SSD drive down to the platter drive, the 1 terabyte regular hard drive. And I'm just like, ugh. So I've got the DVD burner hooked up. I've got the SSD drive hooked up. And I either need a SATA power extender cable or a Molex to SATA power adapter. Either one should give me just the extra few inches I need to go ahead, and I need 3 more flowers, maybe down by the river, to make this last power connection. So I get Windows loaded on it. I'm doing the Windows updates. I get them a Windows 10 license, get the license activated, downloading updates. It's all done except for this one stupid power cable. So I was hoping one of the guys at work might be able to hook me up, and one of them's supposed to, but not till Monday. So I went driving around tonight, and I was looking for either of those PC cables anywhere locally. So I hit the Best Buy. They've got nothing. I go to Office Max. They've got nothing. So I go to where there used to be an Office Depot, and it's a Big Lot store now. It's not even an Office Depot. Very disappointing. But I'm getting ready to drive out of the lot, and Mrs. Mustafa's not home yet. We're not having dinner till later. And I look over, and there's a great big Russell Stover outlet store with an open sign and plenty of parking around it. And I'm like, well, maybe I should just pop in and look around. So I walk into this candy store, and it must be 2,500 square feet, and it's just floor to ceiling with Russell Stover chocolates of various sizes and shapes and varieties of every kind imaginable, except for the ice cream counter, which is full of ice cream. And I go walking in there, and as soon as I step foot in the door, just this waft of cocoa and chocolate and all these delightful smells just hit me right in the face. I'm like, oh, it smells so good in here. And then as soon as I walk in, the girl behind the counter is like, hi, sir, would you like to try one of our Millionaires free samples? Yes, I would like to try a free sample of your Russell Stover chocolates. So she hooks me up with one of these things, and it's basically the Russell Stover version of what everybody else calls a turtle, because apparently that's trademarked by another candy company. But these are the pecans and caramel covered in milk chocolate kind of things. Really terrific, individually wrapped, and I eat it, and it's just a little taste of heaven. And so I go walking around this place, and they've just got piles and piles and piles of boxed chocolates and packaged chocolates and individually wrapped chocolates in bags. And I ended up getting out of there for $9. They had well, I forget what their technical term for them, but they're bloopers, was chocolate bloopers. Candies that they made that just weren't quite the right shape, or the chocolate didn't spread evenly, but for whatever reason they were bagging these up separately and selling them on the cheap. So I got a whole bag of a half a pound of chocolate-covered almond toffees for $3.99, and I got a whole bag of what they called milk chocolate covered peanut novelties, and they're these peanut logs covered in chocolate full of dark caramel. Absolutely terrific. And Mrs. Mustafa called me as I was driving home from the candy store. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, driving home. She's like, well, you want to meet me for dinner? Sure. So I met her for dinner. I went to a Greek restaurant near home called Jim and Jenny's Greek Village. Had a terrific dinner, and then I told her that I stopped and bought those chocolates, and as soon as I got home, she's like, why haven't you opened those yet? I'm like, we just finished dinner. I don't care, open the chocolates. So we got into the bags and sampled them right away. They're quite tasty. So as disappointing as Best Buy continues to be, and usually anytime I stop into Best Buy to look for anything, it's because I'm trying to fix one of Dennis's old piece of crap computers. So the fact that I'm going to have him fixed up and good to go for the next 3 to 5 years makes me happy. But, you know, of all the corporate stores I've been in a while, Russell Stover Candy, pretty rockin' store. Highly recommend if you have one near you, you go visit it at your convenience, because they had case quantities. It must have been 6 boxes. you could get like a 6-pack of their $10 a box chocolates for $20. They had some really good deals on stuff. They had buy two, get one free on a lot of things. So, who knows? Maybe I'll be giving some Russell Stover chocolates out for Christmas this year. But that was a very happy visit. And what's weird about it is their store is maybe 18 blocks from my house. I drive past it all the time. Have never been in there. And it's been there maybe a decade or two. And it's in a shopping center I don't go into very often. I don't have to do a whole lot of chocolate shopping on a regular basis, much as I might enjoy it. So it was definitely a nice diversion. Hi, Tanulio. Can I get on your Christmas list? Yes, you may. You're making my mouth water. And hello, Tanulio. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll raffle off some Russell Stover chocolates on a stream sometime. That would be fun. Of course, I'm sure several of my viewers would figure it's only because I want to get your addresses so I can stalk you. But, you know, if that's the price you have to pay for Russell Stover chocolates, it's probably worth it. I am short 3 flowers. We're just going to set that as the quest guide focus. I did not put a 3.5-inch floppy drive in the PC. I don't think I could buy one to put in there. Nor a zip drive. Although I've been building PCs a long time. I got into PC building back when the 486-66 was still boss. And you had to pick out your hard drive controller separately. And we were still using Visa slots at the time. PCI, I think, might have been the new experimental thing that we weren't sure was going to catch on or not. Yeah, who needs privacy when you have chocolate, right, Tanulio? I must be missing flowers around this tree somewhere. Oh, there's some. Red Cloud, howdy! PCI did eventually catch on Red Cloud, and it became a moot point because eventually motherboard manufacturers started building their drive controllers into the motherboard. So I remember the good old days when your serial and parallel ports came off of ribbon connectors from the motherboard and you had to mount them independently into the case, and they were always coming loose because of those stupid little bolt-headed nuts, or nut-headed bolts. They're like 3/16 of an inch, and you'd screw them in, and I think that was before the world knew about Loctite, at least before I knew about Loctite. And then every time you disconnected a serial or parallel port cable, it would pull the stops out, and your ribbons would come loose, and you'd have to figure out what happened to them and dig them out and bolt them back in and reattach everything. PC building just continues to get easier and easier and easier year after year. But if you're thinking about building a new PC, that Ryzen 2400G would probably play the heck out of Lotro without any problem at all. No video card required. That Vega 11 graphics seems solid, and the CPU performance is really good. I mean, it's basically like getting a i7 7700K on the cheap, but with way faster integrated graphics. It's a good deal. Just be watching me sit around playing Lotro, scratching myself and eating chocolates. Yeah. One of our jokes is that I married Mrs. Mustafa to marry my stalker. She finds me much less interesting now that I'm her husband, so mostly she just checks in to make sure she knows where I'm at and then leaves me alone. Flowers for a keepsake. 9 of 9. When I need to defeat a bunch of orcs, I can do that. Defeat them at the site of the skirmish. We go to slay orcs. Or for big excitement, you could watch me lug the laundry to the basement. Also an exciting time. Well, I'm glad you guys made time to hang out here with me tonight. I'm going to kill some orcs and take their stuff. It's what I do. Ooh, let's see what the Hobbit present is. It is Daleman's Crams. Who would have thunk? Unfortunately, nobody typed Daleman's Crams into the chat in time, so I don't have to give the new car away tonight. Ooh, and Mrs. Mustafa has decided to actually let me have some of the Russell Stover's chocolates. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There's maybe a reason they have to sell these at half price. That's a very odd-looking piece of confection. But it is tasty. And the almond toffee bites are terrific. Really, really good. Hopefully you guys can see how yummy that tastes through the webcam there. One down and 9 to go. Let's go ahead and pop some shield spikes just for fun.
Anybody playing with you?
Nope, I am running some landscape content on my Guardian.
Sure.
Maybe somebody will wander by in a little while and maybe not. See, again, Mrs. Mustafa is only half a stalker now. She wants to make sure I'm supervised, but she's okay if she doesn't have to do it herself all the time. Zinger's around to watch me, or Gravity pops in to keep an eye on me. She's perfectly fine with that. She thinks that I won't get into any trouble that way. Let's hit this dude with the old Guardian's charge. This always amuses me. I'm going to run up to him and hit him with my shield right in the face. I forgot I need to keep using Ignore the Pain. Are you okay, Mrs. Mustafa?
Over there.
Tanuliel says hello. I'm sure she meant to say hello back. Again, as long as she knows I'm properly supervised, she loses interest very quickly. And 10 orcs. And I'll try to get you guys a shot of this. I'm going to break open. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. The caramel, there's a really dark, rich caramel inside of the peanuts and chocolate, and it's good. So, I really shouldn't have stopped at that Russell Stover store, but I can't say I'm sorry that I did.
Oh, hello, whoever said hi to me.
Okay, now she said hello to Tanuliel.
I said hi earlier, you didn't hear me.
It's noise-canceling headphones,
I know,
sweetie.
So you can't hear anything.
I bought these especially so I couldn't hear you.
What brings you
Every
to these
married
lands?
man should own a good pair of noise-canceling headphones. They're really a godsend.
Will you aid the Horse Lords? The Rohirrim will need your aid. Wunmar, struck by the beauty of Noriel, wishes to look upon the elf.
That wandering
one
shade
last
can be
time
frustrating,
before
Red
accepting
Cloud.
his people's banishment from Themglad by its elf sentinels. What brings you to these lands?
My dad would just turn his hearing aid off. That works too.
What brings you to Lothlorien?
How can I be of service?
So for those of you just catching up on the storyline, Windmar is from Standgard, and he met Noriel out in the woods while they were hunting orcs, and now he's kind of crushing on her. He came here to the elf outpost to bring her flowers, and he's professing his affection. And she's like, "Horse rider, please." Okay, that's probably not how she called it. But I am called Windmar. Windmar, horse rider, trespasser, whatever you were called. She's having none of it. Thank you for your help earlier, but you must leave immediately. And she turns and walks away. Wait, I think I am in love with you. I do not know what to do, Noriel. It is strange, I know, but no woman has ever struck my heart so. This is foolish. Your people are the enemies of mine. I do not know what madness has possessed you, but I do not wish to be involved. Now you must leave this place, Weinmar of Standgard. Say no more, lady, you speak true. I will abide your wish. The men of Standgard will trouble your woods no more.
May Gavonnen.
How infuriating, Big Ed Mustafa. I did not ask for this foolishness. Bah! Let him return to his home. I'm sure he will forget all about this soon enough, the foolish man.
Servants of the enemy cannot pass the bounds of Lorien.
What do we got? Last Wish, gloves, gauntlets of the hidden paths. Yeah, those are pretty nice. I will wear them. For those of you who are curious, the cosmetic outfit I'm wearing is actually the Losoth armor from Forakel. You have to have a kindred tailor or metalsmith to make this stuff, but it makes for a very good looking suit, and it's fairly unique. You're not going to see anything else like it, and it's really good. You can get the stuff as early as level 42, maybe 44, and it'll get you all the way through Moria. I mean, I'm still now just getting pieces that are better than it. So on my equipment outfit, I don't think I have any of it equipped anymore, but it'll carry you all the way through 60th level pretty easily. You have to get to Lothlorien and Mirkwood before anything better drops, so very good stuff. But cosmetically it still looks great, so I like to keep it around. Also, there's no value in selling it, so you can either dump it or just keep it in your wardrobe for cosmetics.
The Lord and Lady have need of your services.
Find Renfar and Thingolad. Are you alright, sweetie? Do you need a decongestant? Do you want an Allegra D?
No.
So we both probably sound worse than we are. Our weather literally went from 45 degrees and rainy to 90 degrees and blowing 30 miles an hour, back to 45 degrees and rainy over the course of the last 3 days. So if you have any seasonal allergies or any type of sinus problems, I had a horrible splitting headache at work today. Mrs. Mustafa sounds like she's got tuberculosis. It's just the change in the weather. That wasn't what I was looking to click at all. didn't make it. I'm supposed to be looking for somebody around here. There he is. Signs of trouble.
What business have you with the Lord and Lady?
Orcs
Will
and
you aid the
wargs.
Galathrene?
Orcs and wargs.
Tarry a moment and speak with me. The Galathrene will need your aid.
What? You want orcs murdered? Yeah, I guess I can help. Remember, boys and girls, if you find yourself gagging like Tenuliel at the lovesick Stand Guardian, do what I do. Pop open a fresh cold Coke Zero and enjoy the cool, refreshing taste. It'll wash the taste of bile right out of your mouth. Defeat wargs. Plant mitt. Collect hide from bears. So I don't really need to be murdering all of these orcs just yet, even though it's super fun. I will come back. I do need to be murdering bears and wargs. Not bucks. That buck can live. Plus I wouldn't want Gussie Moose catching me killing the deer. Got a bear hide. I got a bear hide. That is a warg. Anybody got any fun, exciting plans for the weekend? Mrs. Mustafa and I do not. I think she might be shooting football pictures in the morning. Thankfully, I have the weekend off. I was trying to get Dennis's computer wrapped up and done so I could give it to him this weekend, but I have one more connection to plug in. And I can do the cable management at the back of the box and collect my dough. Awesome. Ooh, a stuffed cabbage. Sounds delicious. Well, I've got all my hides. Birch branches. Alright, if I'm going to plant in that soil, I'm probably going to have to take this buck out. My apologies to Gussie. Is it just me, or does that name sound like the name of a serial molester? You be careful walking home from school, kids, or the Thing-Glad Howler will get you. You don't want the Thing-Glad Howler getting a hold of you, because otherwise, you know, you end up going to the school counselor once a week for the rest of the year, and it's just not a good thing. Did you guys hear what happened to All Up Enya? The Thing-Glad Howler got him in his van on his way home from school. Tore his good pants. His parents were mad. They told him not to get in a van. But the Thing-Glad Howler told him that he had Russell Stover chocolates. So All Up went with him. Could totally be a thing. I could see that happening. I'm sorry, John DeGard. Have you not seen my streams before? They always take a dark turn. It's kind of my thing. Hence the After Dark part of the title. Poor Olip. Tanuliel, thank you for the plausible deniability. I need to plant 2 more pieces of mint somewhere. Here we go. We're going to put up missing posters with Olip's picture on them. I'm sure even the Thingglad Howler wouldn't want to keep him. He'd probably let him go after an hour or two. What we are going to want to do is get some very generic looking dolls so that we can ask Olip if he can point to where the Thingglad Howler touched him. Show us on the doll where the Howler touched you, Olip. It's important for the jurors to understand. Hi, Geeks Tour. How are you? And time to turn in some quests.
What brings you to Lothlorien?
All good, sir. Thanksgiving weekend up here for us, so I have the night off of work for a change. That is terrific. That can be your job. That's funny.
What brings you to Lothlorien? Servants of the enemy cannot pass the
I've had
bounds of
worse
Lorien.
jobs, Tanuliel, believe me, including the one I work now.
Will you aid the Galathrim? A shadow falls
Loot
beyond
lock
Lothlorien,
boxes and
against
destroy
which we
orc
must be
weapon
prepared.
stores.